When you're faced with something that feels a little cringy for you, how do you leverage the power of a reframe to help you lean in a little bit more, leverage it, move through it, and perhaps even get stronger as a result? In so much of the work we do, we talk about the value of reframing. How could you see something in a different way? How could you think about it in a different way? How could you approach it in a different way? And all of those different methods of reframing help us when our faulty programming is in the driver's seat, when we get stuck, when our head trash gets in the way, and when we're bumping up against our growth edges. And this has been coming up a lot lately, which is why I wanted to do a Rosie in my pocket on this in various facets. And the first is just thinking about this idea of playing with something. I was leading a Dare to Lead cohort recently, and one of the exercises as we process vulnerability is inviting people to look at what role did vulnerability or your desire to be more courageous have at play in this situation. And it was really meaning like, what role did it have in it? But one of the participants said something along the lines of, I took play literally, and thinking about, vulnerability can feel so heavy and it can feel so icky and people want to avoid it. But when I thought about playing with it, right? Play brings joy. Play is trying stuff on. Play is experimenting. Play can be fun. It made it feel less ominous. It made it feel less icky. And I thought, what a great way of interpreting that question, even though that's not the way it was meant. What if we play with vulnerability? And recently, as we were having a meeting with Dare to Lead coaches, this idea of vulnerability also came up, that people just, for whatever reason, don't like that word. But instead of using vulnerability as it is, referring to it as its definition. When you are faced with uncertainty, risk, and emotional exposure, what do you experience? What gets in your way? Where do you show up as kind of a butthead? Because it's really more about how we show up in the face of vulnerability than the vulnerability itself. So reframing it from thinking about when you're in uncertainty, risk, and emotional exposure, how do you show up? Reframing it to think about playing with things when they feel really heavy or scary or ugh. And there's so many other ways, but those have come up this past week around vulnerability specifically. So this is my invitation and my challenge to you this week, whether it's around vulnerability or something else. When you find yourself feeling that cringe and wanting to tap out, try one of these reframes. Think about playing with it or experimenting with it. Thinking about using a different word that means the same thing, and notice what opens up for you. I would love to hear what does. And remember, when we leverage the power of a reframe, we have a greater opportunity to let more of our sparkle shine brightly.